Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. First off, I apologize for the terrible equipment, the terrible audio, and the terrible video. I'm doing things very cheap right now, so bear with me on that. And no, I'm not in a dungeon. I know it does look like it, but this just happens to be the layout of the room that I'm in, that I'm currently staying in right now. So it is not a dungeon, it is a regular, normal room. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing an audit, an SEO audit for a client that has a fitness, wellness, personal training slash injury rehabilitation business. So for the time being, I'm actually focusing on doing audits for health in the health and wellness industry and health and wellness oriented businesses and websites. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in the meantime. Now, this audit that I'm doing right now, I'm showing you because you can get this audit template on my website, which I'll have down in the description, totally for free, which can save you a few $100s to do it on your own. So I'm going to go through it, through the, let's say, the first stage, the very foundation for the SEO audit. So you can follow along and do it yourself if you want. Of course, you can always reach out to me for some help, things like that, and you can find me on my website, my Facebook page, or my company's website and Facebook page, or message me or leave a comment down below in the comments, and I'll get back to you. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's start things off. So first, we want to go over some quick benchmarks. And what the first one is, let's go ahead and check and see how many pages are indexed in Google for this website. Now, there's a number of different ways that you can do this, just with a lot of different aspects in the SEO audit. There's a few ways to go about almost everything. So we'll just focus on one single thing this time. Now, to check out how many pages Google indexed, we're going to go ahead and do the URL of the website. That is my website, Television Fitness. And then we're going to do in the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and do this. What we're going to do is we're going to do site : Now what that does is it brings up all the pages that are indexed on Google. Now, as you see here, we have a 5 right here. So we are going to go ahead and get back to our audit. Go ahead and put 5 down. I know we have pass and fail right here, which it will be later on in the audit, but we're just going to put numbers down here right now. Now, for the number of backlinks, I use a tool that's called the Moz bar. Now, again, there's a number of ways that you can check for backlinks. I use what's an add-on for Chrome called the Moz bar. It's free, and it gives you a few different metrics to go on. Now, the website that I am working on, just as a heads up, so there's going to be some steps that we kind of skip over because it is a brand new website. So it's not even very, there's not much to go on right now. As you can see right here, this is their main page, and they have 0 backlinks because it's literally a brand new website. So they're not going to have links at this point. However, if you go, look at something like Facebook, they're going to have thousands and thousands of backlinks. But for now, this person doesn't have any. Same with the linking root domains. Organic keywords. So you can check on a few different things, whether that's Google Search Console, analytics. I use SEMrush right now, again, because this website is new. They don't have any keywords that they're ranking for, but that would pop up right here. But for this client, they don't have any, they're not ranking for anything right now. And domain authority, again, we can check on here. We have page authority 1, domain authority 1, which is the lowest it can be because it's brand new. Some others go down to 0, but this one is 1. As you can see up here, Instagram, because this is Instagram, domain authority is a 93. Of course, it's one of the most popular websites out there, and the specific page that it's popping up on is a page authority of 56. But our client has obviously wanted 1 because they are brand new. So we'll go ahead and put a 1. Now, Google Search Console, usually with clients, I'll be added on as well. They were still getting their Search Console up. However, I do know that they are added on. I'm just not on as an admin yet. It takes a little bit of time sometimes, or they just didn't get my thing in correctly. But I do know that they are in there. And just to give you an idea, I have my website up right now for Search Console. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like. And my website's pretty new as well, so I don't have much on at the moment. If it wants to load. So here's my domain here. We're good, just to give you an idea of what it would look like. But I know that they are good on that. They have submitted their sitemaps, and they don't have any errors, so we're going to give them a pass. There's no manual penalties. Now, I will show you real quick how to check that. You're going to come down here to this sitemaps thing, or sitemaps tab. And what you will do is you will create, if you haven't done so yet, you'll create your own sitemap, which you can do just by going to sitemap generator. XML sitemaps, this first one comes up. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take the URL from the client, just to show you how it's done. Do it that way, and then you press start, and it will create a sitemap for you. You will take that, you'll download it, and then upload it into your site, and then you will have your sitemap created, and it will give you a URL. Then you will put that into the Google Search Console right here, and then submit, and then if it goes well, you should have this thing submitted and have a success. If you do have errors, you'll have to go in and check and see what's wrong with it. Now, manual penalties, what you can do also, do not want manual penalties. These are what Google, if you break their rules, then they will penalize you. And in order to check that, you can go to Security and Manual Actions in Google Search Console. Just check Manual Actions. Luckily, I have no issues detected. If you do, you want to get that taken care of immediately because it is your SEO. And you will get knocked down in rankings a lot, but you can come back from it. It just takes a bit of work to get back. So I know that they're also clear on manual penalties as well. Bing Search Console is the same thing, just Bing's own version of it, and I know that their website was fine. Google Analytics, I know that they are created as I have been given an admin to them, as you see up here. That is them. They have their Google Analytics correct. You can also check for Google Analytics by, if you do Control U on any page, it will bring up the source code of that page. And this can be very useful to check a number of different things. So let's get that loading. Then we'll do a find, analytics. Down, down. And we know that Google Analytics has been tagged in there. So we know that Google Analytics has been in there. Pass Google Analytics website. Correct URL to check to make sure you have a correct URL. Let's go into Google Analytics. You're going to be in the admin section. Then go to View Settings. And here we have the correct URL, also with the SSL certificate as well. So that is all good. Now, goals. This is something that you do want to set up. It's a way of checking tools for conversion tracking on your website. The way we do that, let's go back one page, back to the admin. Nope, I didn't even need to do that. It was right there. go to goals. And we can check to see if they have any goals set up. If it wants to load. I have a terribly slow computer at the moment. I apologize. So they have no goals set up. So we're going to go ahead and mark that to fail. Kind of sounds harsh, fail, but it is. We didn't see multiple analytics codes. We're fine on that. Conversion tracking, they do not have set up. This is the same thing pretty much as goals, just more robust ways of conversion tracking, such as if you're getting phone calls, you want to see how many phone calls you're getting and how many that is turning into customers. It's a form of conversion tracking because obviously you want to have a higher conversion rate, and that means more customers. So now let's get into the primary technical SEO. So let's make sure the site redirects to the preferred version. How do we do this? So this is the preferred version. Now, the way we can check, let's remove that and see if it loads back to the same exact URL. As we see, it does. Now let's go ahead and remove the www and see if it does the same. And it does. That's good. Now let's remove the SSL certificate and see if it goes back. It does the same. Load, and it does, so we're good. Another way you can do that is you can go into the source code and do the find again and type in canonical, and you want to make sure that the canonical under that is the URL that you want it to be all those pages directed to. We saw that it had an SSL certificate. Google Analytics, we've already been over that, exists. Now, robots.txt, let's check if that. Then we'll do /robots.txt, see if it exists. And here we go. So we've got the robots.txt file, and we also have the sitemap in the robots.txt file, which is what we want. And the robots.txt file is basically what tells Google if it doesn't want certain pages to be indexed and things like that. I know that the sitemap is submitted to Search Console. XML sitemap we just saw is. Now, favicon, that is the little guy that, if you see, if you don't know what a favicon is, that is this little icon. It's your little logo that comes up in the search bar. Favicon is there, so we're going to go ahead and give them a pass. Now, let's see if they have an HTML sitemap, which, nope, no HTML sitemap. We do know that the entire website has been submitted to Search Console. Website is easy to edit. Yes, based just on this website has been created on Wix, and just through the look at it, nothing too complicated, and no issues with editing it. Now, let's see if broken links. Now, again, there's a few ways that you can check this. Here's a free resource, brokenlinkcheck.com. Now let's check that, find broken links. Oops. Let's go ahead and make that stop loading. these things. Okay. XJQCB. Let's check. Let's check all of them. All right, 0 broken links. Good. Let's go ahead and get this down a little bit. Okay. No meta keywords used. Okay. Now we're going to go into a tool called Screaming Frog. This is a free tool. Highly recommend getting it. You can provide a bunch of different metrics about your website. And we have no meta keywords, so we're good. We don't want to use meta keywords. It's an old way of doing SEO. What am I doing here? It was what was used to, back in the day when Google was still young, and it's much simpler. You would literally tell Google what keywords you were ranking for. Now it's obviously much different, so we don't want to use those anymore. Our internal links pointing to the home page. Okay, so what this is, do we have any links in the text that are pointing to the looks like they let's go to services. Now we don't see. Now I'm going through this again for you guys. I have already checked before. They don't have any links going back to the page. What you want is you want to have some text with some anchor text with a link going back to your home page and also just the main pages of your site. It boosts the SEO a little bit if you have your site interlinked. Okay. All footer and header links work. I know that they do. That's just on those main menu bars that you want to make sure that the home page, the services, the about, all those things, that they are working and not broken. Now, title and meta tags optimized. So there's a few ways that we can do this. One good way is just to get an eyeball. Now, this is the business and searching for the we'll do site colon and look at all the pages. Okay. The title and meta tags. So look, these are these here, and these are very important to get right. We can see that these are kind of title tags and meta descriptions. So these are things that you want to customize and you want to get the proper keywords and qualifiers in there. So they obviously have some work to do. Let's go ahead and close down a few of these. What is this one? Uptime. We'll look at that later. Okay. Now let's check if the H1, H2s are optimized. So these are these main headings. They certainly could be a little bit better. These are things that you want to make sure you get the right keywords in there to let Google know exactly what that page is about. Contact page exists. Unsecure content, nope, they're good on that because they have the SSL certificate. Now, do they have a terms of service? No, that they don't. No terms of service or anything like that. Always a good idea to have that in there. Okay, so now we've gone through the, oops. Yeah, I know, if you guys are watching this, my computer is behaving very slow right now. I do need to get a new one, so bear with me, guys. Now, duplicate content. There's a number of ways that we can check this, but we're going to go ahead and use Screaming Frog. And let's see, where is the duplicate? Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. Why am I missing this? Alright. Sorry about that. Duplicate content, we're good on that. We have no duplicates. We do have low content. It's on the testimonials, so maybe we want to let them know that they should get a bit more on that. Alright, let me get out of here. Screaming Frog. Okay. Duplicate content, they're fine right now. Thin content, let's let them know that testimonials page. Blog posts, they don't have a blog right now, so we're going to go ahead and say not applicable. They do not have a sales page. Multiple pages competing for the same keyword. The way you can do that is that you go in Google Search Console and then you go down to, let's see, let me bring up search again. And just to give you guys an idea of how to check that. You can go to performance. And 2 pages. Now, granted, for my example, as my website is very young, I don't have much data, but what you would do is you'd go through, these are your pages, and then you would go back. So you'd go, let's say, mine's my home page, and queries, because that lets us know what people are searching for to get to us. And then you'll do that for all the pages, and you want to make sure that none of them are really overlapping, because if you have pages competing for the same keyword, you're competing against yourself and you're losing SEO juice, we'll say that. They're all good on that. I know that we've checked that. Is it mobile friendly? We can go ahead and use this mobile friendly checker real quick just to check. Oops, that's not. Nah, let's go ahead. Oh, it was already there. Getting hard on myself. Well, looks like somebody decided to have a party outside of my window. Sorry about that. Maybe you guys can enjoy the music right now while this is loading. Okay, we do see that the page is mobile friendly. However, there are some issues about it loading. And it looks like these are things that have to do on Wix's end and some of their loading, or some of their, let's see. Yeah, okay, it looks like some with their API integrations and things like that. So potentially it can go into Wix and maybe adjust some of the settings in there. I actually am not entirely familiar with the Wix platform. However, that can be checked. It is mobile friendly though. We can let them know some issues in page loading. Responsive design, yeah, I never had any issues with the design. Everything was good on that end. Now, this is a big one here, the call to action. This is something we always want on the home, especially the home page, but also the main pages that get the most traffic. Now, what that is we want, let that load here. Now, what this is, above the fold, that's the part of the screen that we see without scrolling down. So we want somewhere here to have some sort of thing that says, that gives people an opt-in. So something that says like, hey, get a free consultation today, apply here. Usually with some sort of button that they can click on, because we want them to opt into you one way or another, maybe submitting an email or something like that. So you start building that relationship. Proper navigation, yeah, we've seen that this is okay. We don't need to read or worry about this because that has to do only with news websites. Social media on the site. Let's see. We got Facebook and Instagram. Yep. I don't think we need to hire a designer at this point. Simplicity works. Okay, page speed optimization. Now I went ahead and earlier and had it loaded up. Now the page is doing just fine with the speed. This right here is crazy. You would never want this number. However, I don't attribute this to their site. I think this is more on my end. All of their stuff is in the green here. They got a good score. So again, this load time is a bit crazy. We would want it ideally around 2.5 seconds. That's a very nice fast page. And when I've done the test before, it was around that. I think my internet and everything is just a bit slow right now, so we're going to go ahead and let them slide. But we want to keep that around 2.5 seconds. And let's see, where are we? We're going to go ahead and leave the results to the test for them in the audit. Are the images properly sized? Yeah, so we know that based on that page speed audit that they are doing all right. About the website uptime, with this free website, just upsite.com. You go ahead and make a quick free account, and you can do, I think, up to see that their uptime is good. They're 100%, or like maybe 99 something. Anything below that you want to figure out, because there's probably maybe an issue on the server, but for them, they're good. Okay, let's check some indexation. Now, there are certain types of pages that you do not want Google to index because it doesn't serve any purpose, and it just takes away some of your SEO juice. So the way that we can check that, these are all the pages that we want to make sure that aren't indexed. So you can do that, just thank you. Now, this is not a thank you page. This is just has thank you in the text there, but they don't have anything indexed. They have one result, don't have anything indexed, so we're going to give a pass. Now, what you're going to do is, in order to check, you're going to go through all of that. Do the same thing. So in Google, you're going to do the site, colon, then the website, backslash, and then thank you have on the list here. And then I have little notes here of what you're doing, a backslash and then to check. And if there are any indexed, you want to make sure that they're not. But I know that this person is all good on those. Okay, another thing that we want to check is citations. So this is any mention of your business's name, address, or phone number. The more that you have, the better, and the higher quality site that you have it on, the better as well. And there are ways that you can check it for free to see how many citations you got. Now, there is this website called WhiteSpark. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll go to WhiteSpark, and then you'll go to their free tool, which is the local citation finder. I think you'll have to create a simple account, and then go ahead and input that in their tool. And then, as we see here, citations are 7, which is extremely low, but that's expected for a new website. So that's something that we're going to want to work on. Excuse me. Now, the URL structure. So what that is up here. So we don't want anything where it's like backslash and then, some crazy code like this. We want it nice and clean and to the point. So we can give it a check. Let's see, bio, /.com bio, see about. Now an about, so it's very simple. We'll go through that, and you also want to make sure that you have your keywords in there as well. We know that the uncategorized pages don't exist because we checked back up here. Now we'll check Screaming Frog to see if we have any 404 or 303. So all of these are 200, so we're good on that. Pass and pass. Now to check for Open Graph Data and Schema Markup. Now what these are, Open Graph Data is strictly for Facebook. In order to check that, we can look at the Facebook Debugger tool. Now what this is this is a bit of code in JavaScript that you put into your, that tells Facebook and Google and other search engines what that specific page is about. So there's a number of different types of markups. For Facebook, it's strictly for Facebook. So that's simple. We can see, let's see if they have it there. So we'll just go ahead and put the URL in. So as we see, we do have information and some open graph data for them. It is there. The image looks like it was maybe this image, so maybe that's good. It looks like it was automatically populated. They didn't customize it, but they do have it. And they do need a Facebook ID, but they have the data. So then we're going to give them a pass, but customize images, and let's say customized information as well. Now, the rest of these are schema markup. Now, what that is like I was saying earlier, it's the data that you tell Google what your specific website is about and a specific page. So let's go ahead and go to the structured data testing tool. Okay, let's see if they have their website set up for any schema markups. Okay, detected nothing is here. So, because my client's website is a local business, we don't need to worry about an organization markup, which is strictly for national-oriented businesses. So he would want the local business markup, however, which he does not have. Nor does he have any other markups in there, as we saw, and also for these other things. So if you have a news article, you want to make sure you have a news article. If you have an events page, you want to make sure that you have an events markup. But let's say he doesn't have that, so we're going to NA him on these. NA. Service markup doesn't have. So you would go to the service page, you would just put in the service URL into that structured data testing tool as well. Doesn't have any products. Homepage markup doesn't have. Contact markup doesn't have. About markup doesn't have. There's no schema errors. Surprise, surprise. Now, Google My Business. This is extremely important to have if you have a local website. And the way that, let's check that is, so Vitality San Diego. Okay, Google My Business, as you've probably seen these before. Now, let's see what, from the audit standpoint, what sort of things that we want to make sure that you have on the Google. So, is it verified? Beep. Mark, verified, pass. And get rid of this. Okay, we've got the number. This person is, or their company is mobile. They don't have a physical address, so we won't expect that, but we do have the phone number. which I have double checked on their website. It is the same, so that's good. Let's see if they got a business description. Yep. We see they don't have their category set up. So there should be like a type, like a category that their business falls under, and we want to make sure that we have that. Have they responded to reviews? Let's see. Good. Good. He is responding. Nice. And good, we got this fertility, fitness, and rehab. We got some good keywords. We get keywords in there, so we're gonna give pass on that. Post 3 times a week. Go. So we got 5 days ago. Not quite 3 times a week. It's good to the more posting you get on there, the more relevant that Google thinks you are. So we're gonna put fail. Again, fail sounds very drastic, but we're not going to quite pass them on that, and just give a reminder to make sure to post a bit more. There are no unnecessary images that I saw on there, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. What photos they got up. Okay, so we have some that are up there, but it looks like we don't quite have what we want. So we just want to make sure that inside location, we can't really say there's a location, so that doesn't matter. 360 photos, Google My Business. It's become through some testing and a research that I've seen from other SEOs that Google does like the 360 photos. So if it's possible, do that. For them, it's a little bit different because they don't, but we're gonna suggest to get those. Outside location photos, we do see some of those. Team photos, we got some of them on there, but we want to have a bit more. Photos. They are not a WordPress site, so we don't need to worry about that. And that is the first gist, the first, I'm going to say, phase of the SEO audit. This is all the foundational stuff that you want to be sure is taken care of before you move on to things like content creation and keyword research and things like that. So that's all for now. Please do leave a like and a comment. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any questions, please reach out with anything you might need. I'm happy to help. Take care, everyone.